Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the United Financial Freedom Agents Blog Talk Show. This is your show. It's designed for all agents across the country to provide you with the latest information, training, and current events. It's a live, interactive show where we value your participation. Just hit one on your phone and we'll open your line so you can ask questions, share information, and the results you've experienced in your business and using the Money Max account. You will hear from individuals who are experiencing amazing results, paying off their debt in record time, and growing wealth with the Money Max account. But remember, everyone's results will vary based upon their debt and discretionary income. You'll also hear from agents who are experiencing huge success in their business, but no income claims or guarantees are made or implied. As with any business, your results may vary and will be based upon your individual capacity, your business experience, your expertise, and the level of desire. This call is not put on by United Financial Freedom or its management. It's just us, a group of independent agents, all helping one another. So grab a pen and paper and get ready to learn and share. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Chris Heeb here, United Financial Freedom Executive Director. I'm really excited to be with all of you today. Hope you're having a great month. We only have about, actually less than 2 weeks to go. So hopefully you're out there knocking on doors and setting up meetings and making things happen. As we say in the corporate world with United Financial Freedom, helping one family at a time. So I hope you had or got some very good insight last Tuesday. I know we've gotten a lot of responses from the radio show we did last Tuesday with Charles Carlton. Man, is that guy something else? I mean, I was writing notes so fast because I was living by every word that Charles said. I mean, he just was right on when it came to not only motivation, but also knowing exactly what to do every single day in regards to this business. And today we're going to change things up just a little bit. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear your successes. I want to hear your challenges. I want to know what's going on out there in the world of United Financial Freedom and the Money Max account. Many times with our radio show here on Tuesdays, we try to motivate and inspire. And a lot of times I get stuck talking a lot. So today we're going to kind of open it up. I want to hear from you. This is your radio show, and I want to hear what you're experiencing out there in your communities across the country, because we have agents all over the United States, and I'm sure you have something to say. So I want this to be more of an interactive show today, and I want you to let me know how you feel about certain things. If you have questions, I'll be glad to answer those questions for you. If I cannot answer those questions, I will make sure I find the right person and get the right information back to you. But again, I hope you're really having a good month. How many appointments have you set for this week? You know, some weeks back we talked about the importance of staying active, the concept of doing. If you're not doing, you're dying. It's very straightforward. You got to get up every single day. And if you're doing this full time, you should expect to have 8 to 10 appointments per week. If you're doing this part time, I think you can get away with 4 to 6 per week. And what do I mean by appointments? Well, what I mean by appointments are not only the one-on-one conversations you have with prospects, but it may involve spending time with your downline agents. It may involve participating in a split sale, or maybe you're a certified trainer and you're out there helping your downline get a sale. Maybe you're attending some type of networking event, or maybe you're at a Chamber of Commerce meeting. Maybe you're doing a presentation at a real estate office. All of those are considered appointments. So I hope you fully understand that it's not about just having these one-on-ones. Now, granted, they're the best, because you can sit down with someone and really get to understand and recognize their challenges when it comes to finances. And then you're also able to provide solutions. And that's really what we're all about. The Money Max account is a solution. Okay? It's not putting a Band-Aid on something. It's about fixing the problem. It's one of the things I love so much about this product is that it's something people can use for the rest of their lives. It's something that people can rely on for the rest of their lives. It's something that they can use as a resource or a tool to enhance their financial stability so that they can, in the future, continue to grow and build wealth. And let me make sure you understand all of this, everyone. This is just the tip of the iceberg. From the chatter that I've heard in the background coming out of corporate, this is just the beginning. You know, we're really focusing on eliminating all of your debt in as little as so many years. Remember that always when you're talking to people, the phrase in as little. Charles talked about that last week. But we have so much more that we're going to be able to offer people. We haven't even talked about the building wealth component. Yes, there are videos out there that you can watch in regards to building a real estate rental property empire, but there are other things that are in the works right now that I don't even know, but I have a good idea of what's coming down the pipeline. So look, we want to hear from you. Okay, I don't know if you have recognized, but if you use Rapid Funnel, have you seen that the Richard Schaefer videos have been published and they are available to use in Rapid Funnel? Have you sat down and listened to all of those videos yet? And what do you think about those videos? What information or what insight have you gained from what Richard, through all of his years of experience, not only with this product back in the heyday, but also the experience he's had dealing with financial advisors and real estate agents and mortgage brokers and insurance agents. What information or how are you using that information to set up meetings? Or what are you doing to take advantage of those videos? Because, boy, those videos speak right to what we're trying to convey in a message to these professionals. And let me tell you something. It's not easy. I mean, I had a meeting with a real estate agent yesterday, and it was difficult. There were a lot of objections that were thrown out at me. And boy, I wish I could have had Richard right next to me, because we would have been able to take each of those objections and basically bury them. But you really have to know your stuff when you sit down with professionals, and you really have to know and understand what to say. Because what we're trying to convey in the message to people out there today is, you know, this is a great product. If you have debt, you want to improve your financial situation, there is nothing else out there like this on the market. And so today we're going to talk about a little bit of, the importance of warm market introductions. Okay, I want to hear about what you're doing. Okay, what people you're talking to. What are you saying to them? Okay, what seems to be working in your community? Remember, this show is to share information, to give insight, not only to inspire, but also to be able to take things that we get from this show and go out and apply them immediately. So I'd like to hear about, how you are approaching realtors and how you are approaching certified financial advisors and mortgage brokers and insurance agents. What kind of objections are you seeing out there in the marketplace, and how are you handling them? How are you, taking, a potential negative and turning it around as a positive? Because many times when we get out there and we start talking about this product, I've talked about this before, we have a tendency to throw up all over someone and talk about all the wonderful positive attributes of this program. It's human nature. Look, we're going to do that because we're so excited. I mean, all of us should be a product of the product. If you're not a product of the product, then I will ask you the very simple question, why not? I mean, look, in order for you to be effective, in this business, it's important to understand the nuts and bolts behind the product. How does the program work? Have you looked at the new videos that Max Saunders has put out in regards to the product presentation? Have you seen that he's condensed those videos down? One is only about 23 minutes, and I've yet to see the final product of the condensed episode or the condensed product presentation. I believe we just got an email, I think yesterday, in regards to tonight's corporate meeting or corporate call. But if you've seen that condensed version, I'd love to hear what you think about it. These are great tools that you can use when you sit down with people, especially professionals. So I'd like to hear from you today. Okay, I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear your comments, questions you may have. It's not difficult to get on. All you have to do is just press, I believe, #1 or 1 pound, and you're in the queue, and I will bring you on, and you can ask a question or give a comment. I want to hear some wow stories. I want to hear some analyses that you've done where you've literally sat there and kind of shook your head and said, I cannot believe that this is actually happening. And I want to hear what your clients or prospects said. We did a couple actually I did an analysis yesterday with a lovely couple. Matter of fact, they're based out of Utah, not far from Draper, where corporate headquarters is. And it was interesting to sit down with them. They're young, a young couple. They're in their late 20s. They have some debt. We were able to sit down and walk them through an appointment, gathering all of their data. And yesterday was the revealing of what our program could do for them. 29.7 years, and they'll have all their debt paid off in 9 years. That's a mortgage, that's 2 auto loans, and that is $70,000 in student loan debt. All paid off in 9 years. Now think about that. When I asked her, this is the question we always ask everyone, is if you could wave your magic wand and be realistic about this, when would you like to be debt-free? And obviously the response for many, it's a joking response, is, well, I like to have been debt-free yesterday, or I like to be debt-free a year from now. But most people always go after that 10-year mark. So we have this couple, this young lady who's in charge of all the finances in their household, said, you know what, I'm 28 years old. How about 10 years from now? I'd like to be debt-free when I'm 38. I said, okay. I said, well, let's go ahead and work the numbers. I said, if I could save you at least $50,000 and at least 5 years off when you would be debt-free, is there any reason why you would not do business with me? And, of course, she said, well, sure. If you can save me $50,000 in at least 5 years, of course I'll do business with you. Well, when we unveiled that information to her, I thought her jaw was going to hit the floor. From 29 years down to 9 years, and she was saving well over $151,000. Now, all of us would sit there and look at that and go, wow, I'm all in. Tell me where I need to sign up. But there are many people that don't see it the way that we see it. And they start wrestling with the fact that this product is $3,500. That somehow they can't see that over a period of 9 years, we're going to save them $151,000. But right now, right here, they can't wrap their head around the price of this program at $3,500. So how would you handle that? Because inevitably what happened is that this became an issue. This was an objection. Basically, they were thinking, well, we can do this on our own. Why should we make this investment of $3,500? I mean, that's a lot of money. Now think about that. How would you handle that? How would you step up and talk to someone or respond to that objection? I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear what you would say. Now look, everyone out there that's listening today, there is no way we're going to know who you are and where you're from So even if you think you might make a fool of yourself getting on live with me, don't worry about it. We want to hear from you. So how would you handle those objections? How would you tell a mortgage broker? A mortgage broker who says to you, look, my job is to keep people in debt. 60% of my business is refinancing. Why would I want someone to pay off all of their debt? Why would I want them to pay off their mortgage? I'll go out of business. How do you handle that objection? How about if a financial, or here, I'll give you one. How about if a real estate agent says, why would I want to advise my clients who just bought a home to pay off their mortgage as fast as possible when they could take that extra discretionary income, hand it off to their financial advisor, they can invest that money and be able to diversify their financial holdings. Whereas, why pay off this debt, build equity in a home, and God forbid the housing market tanks in a couple of years, and now you can't get that money out of your house? I mean, that was one of the objections I ran across yesterday. Okay? So, look, we're going to have these objections come up. And I think you need to spend a lot of time role-playing, okay, especially if you're leaders in this organization, role-playing with your downline agents. The what-ifs, okay? How are you going to handle these objections? Are you going to become defensive? Are you going to get upset? Are you going to sit there and shake your head and think to yourself, why am I here? Why am I having this meeting with this person? Obviously, they don't get it. What am I going to do now? Or are you going to really start to think about what your response will be? Or are you going to be able to, go with the flow? Okay, we talked a little bit about how you communicate with prospects in our last Tuesday's radio show. When someone says, well, I really don't, think that this is a good thing, and our response should be a good thing. Remember how we talked about the concept of mirroring, being able to really have people explain more? Because what I am finding is that if you can spend time with a prospect and you truly get to know their concerns and their fears, then you have a greater probability of closing a sale. But really, it all starts with your warm market introduction. What is your elevator pitch? What entices someone that are curious about what we have to offer? And then, are you capable of asking the important questions that are going to unleash that connection? Okay, it's not all about, as we say, dominate over everyone in regards to this product, because we all know how great this product is. What is it that you're saying to people that gets them emotionally connected to your cause? Because, look, everyone, this is a cause. We are out there to make a difference in people's lives. And, I equate this as, and all of you know that I was a chiropractor for many years. And this is like going into battle with big pharma, the pharmaceutical companies. Okay. And we know that if you've ever watched TV in the evening, how many pharmaceutical commercials there are. I mean, there's billions of dollars being spent to get the message out about big pharma. Okay. But what you're finding, and as a chiropractor, we deal with holistic natural health care. So we go right up against big pharma. Okay, so for 27 years, I had to battle that. And I look at this opportunity we have here the same way. We're going up against, bankers that are still giving out 30-year loans. Bankers that understand that all of the fees, all of the interest is front-loaded. We're getting bombarded with, hey, if something costs $1,000, Well, how about if you break it up into, monthly payments for so many months so that it fits within your budget and you don't recognize that the lender is just cleaning house with little interest payments that you're making, but you look at it as no big deal. I mean, we're up against a lot. Okay, so what are you doing? How are you communicating this message? Because you've got to have a fire that's burning inside of you to convey how important it is for people to get out of debt. I mean, look, geese of a feather flock together. Okay, I mean, look at our national debt. We're in the trillions. I don't think our government is really taking the time out to understand that, hey, hello, we got a problem here and we need to figure it out. And then everyone else in our nation are doing the same thing. I mean, wouldn't it be great if we could sit down with our president and say, hey, take a look at this program. You want to solve the financial issues we're having out here? Okay, well, we need to start from a grassroots campaign. Who out there knows Donald Trump? Who could actually sit down with him and say, take a look at this. You want to save our country financially? Okay, take a look at United Financial Freedom. Take a look at the Money Max account. Make it a point to get the message out. Can you imagine that? My gosh, we'd be so busy. I don't know what I'd do with myself. I couldn't play golf anymore. I'd have to be doing analyses every day, 7 days a week. I know one thing, my handicap would rise. I wouldn't be a good golfer anymore. So let's hear from you. It's now about 20 after the hour. We got looks like about 20 callers here online. Let's hear from one of you. I see a couple 314 area codes. I'm curious to know who in the wonderful area of St. Louis metropolitan area is actually on our call today. So let's try to get some people on the line here. Who wants to step up and start this thing out? Come on now. I can't sit there and beg for people to come on the show, but I know you're out there and you want to say something. So why don't you come on board? Let me know what your debt-free date is. Let me know if you've closed a sale this past week, or let me know if you're a first-time agent coming on board. Maybe you just had your first sale. Let me know how that went. Come on board. We'd love to hear from you. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Everyone's scared to come on board. Is there anyone out there that wants to make a comment or ask a question? If not, I have no problem whatsoever talking on here for the next few minutes. Here we go. We're going to go to area code 910 and the last four digits 2149. When you come on live, tell me who you are and where you're from.
My name is Lillian Clater. I'm from North Carolina. And
hello there. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I have a question. I'm one that's been struggling with trying to get people to believe it, for number one. And then I had a young lady yesterday that she told me she doesn't pay. She has a mortgage. Matter of fact, just got it last month, but she doesn't pay the interest on it. She's got one of those rehabilitation, and she asked me, could we be of help to her? So that's my question.
Okay, very good. Thank you for being the first one to come on board here today. I appreciate it. Where at North Carolina are you from?
Fayetteville area.
Fayetteville. Okay, very good.
Near Fort Bragg, yeah.
Oh, excellent. So how long have you been an agent?
Since December.
And let me know what motivated you to become an agent. Why is it that you wanted to become an agent?
Well, my son told me about the program, and when he said to get out of debt, that's the first thing it lit up. For as being an agent, I said, well, that'd be a good way to make extra money, because that's what I wanted to do something part-time, because I'm retired. But for as getting out of debt, that's why I got in it, to get the program, because I saw a way to get out of debt, because I've been spending too much money on credit cards.
I got you. I totally understand. And what is your debt-free date? So when you did the analysis, what did the traditional? Go ahead.
2 years and 3 months.
2 years and 3 months, and that went down from what? When you did the actual analysis, it should have told you.
That was it. That's what it is. They gave me. I got the same analysis that I did when they did the practice and analysis, whatever you call it, the first one. And when I went on to the program, actually it went up from what the initial was because of some changes. Then when I signed up, I didn't get right on because they said it was in the middle of training people. I had to wait about a month before I could actually get on the program.
Okay.
So this is my thing is to make extra money to do it earlier because I just got credit card bills that I'm trying to pay off.
Gotcha. So when you did the analysis initially, and they said, okay, if you followed the traditional pathway, how many years would it have taken you to pay off your debt if you just continued the same thing you were doing? Do you remember that number?
No, I don't remember them giving me that.
Okay.
Because I was already doubling up on my bills myself, doing the amortization way where you double up on them. I was doing that myself.
Okay. So one of the things that and this goes right in line with the question that you're answering. And thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you listening and being a part of the show today. One of the things that falls right in line with what she was talking about, number one is make sure that you have a story. When you're talking with people, stories are so powerful, especially your own story. Okay, when you can sit down with someone and say, look, I want to tell you something. I had all of this debt, and when I did my analysis, if I would follow the traditional pathway that has been passed down from generation to generation, it would have taken me 24 years to get out of debt. Well, let me tell you something. I'm 30 years old, and it takes 20 years to get out of debt. I would be 50 years old until I was finally out from under all of this financial stress and strain. But I did this analysis, and it said that I would be debt-free in as little as 5 years. That's what this program is going to do for me. And let me tell you something. That means I have 15 more years to sleep well every single night. See, the story is powerful. Your story is powerful because it comes from the heart. So when someone is having a hard time believing that this product can do what it does, you know what? I always say, I can understand where you're coming from. I felt the same way. You recognize their concern, you acknowledge it, you agree with it, you understand it, and you know exactly where they're coming from because I felt the same way. Mrs. Jones, it is too good to be true. Can you believe that, we have a financial GPS software program that actually does what it says it's going to do? I mean, think about that for a minute. I mean, who would have thunk that? Well, let me take this cell phone here. Do you have a cell phone, Mrs. Jones? Yeah, let me see your cell phone. Is this one of those smartphones? Yeah, it's like a mini computer, right? Who would have thunk 20 years ago, that our cell phone would become a little mini computer? Who would have thought that, this technology would be so far advanced that now I can pay my credit card bills and look at my balance in my checking account almost immediately on my cell phone? That's crazy. But you know what? It does. It is too good to be true. I mean, this is unbelievable. Could you imagine not having your cell phone? How about if you lost your cell phone, you misplaced it somewhere, and you're trying to figure out where it's at? I think many of us would go absolutely crazy. Okay? So my point is this. People are going to come along and wonder if this thing is the real deal. Now, you can go and you can tell your story. You can lead them to all of the video testimonials that are available available to us in Rapid Funnel. You can find those video testimonies on YouTube. If you're smart and savvy when it comes to computers, you can capture those videos and make them your own. I know that we have that Rapid Funnel app on our phone if you're good at working with apps. Or if you're not, go to your upline. Have them show you how to utilize this technology. But the point is that conviction, okay, in what we have to say, conviction in the stories that we have to tell, conviction in the fact that this product has been around for more than 16 years, over 70,000 clients, 100% limited money-back guarantee. Look, the company is stacking in our favor all of the attributes that people should seriously take a look at when making a decision on whether this is a good fit for them. But it's really about understanding the story behind it. You know, I love to send the why video, okay, listening to John Winchenko and Skylar Whitman talk about their personal story. The fact that as they were growing up, they were watching before their eyes foreclosure, repossession. I mean, think about that. That stress that they experienced as a child has lived with them all the way to where they are now. And they have made it a decision in their mind that they would never, ever go down that pathway ever in their life, and that their passion and conviction is to go out and make sure other people don't too. You talk about purpose in life, okay? On the other side of the question from our caller in regards to someone that is not paying interest on a mortgage, look, no matter what financial situation anyone is in, you always want to lead them to the analysis. You know, you can show them different summary analyses if you like. You can go ahead and create fictitious ones in your back office, print them off, and you can have different examples for different professionals. Like I do that a lot with doctors, where I will say, okay, based upon you coming out of school, this is how much money you're going to have in student loan debt. This is the average median salary of this particular specialty. And let's just go ahead and put some hypothetical expenses that are out there that we typically know are standard expenses, monthly expenses. And let's take a look and see what this could possibly do for you. But nothing compares to doing a personal financial analysis for that person. So no matter what situation they're in, okay, no matter what kind of mortgage they have, no matter what kind of debt they have, no matter what kind of income they have, go to the savings analysis. That is really the key to our success. Moving them towards a savings analysis so they can see exactly what their debt-free date will be. That's powerful. That will create curiosity. Then it's a matter of selling the product to them. Now, we have the GPS financial sales system, the 2-day appointment system, and I will tell you, I've done 1 days and I've done 2 days. And I find that if I do the 2 days, I seem to get more sales than the 1 days. The 1 days seem to not work out. Now, granted, you may have an agent that comes on board and says, I want to get the program now. Okay, I should have had it yesterday. And that's fine. Okay? But make sure as a leader in the organization, in your organization, that you do take the time out to, as Charles Carlton said, become the chief explainer-in-chief, the chief executive explainer-in-chief. That's so, so important. Train your downline to do the 2-day sales appointment process. Last week, I had the opportunity to sit down with someone that is in the Sandler Sales System program. He is a salesman for Sandler Sales. Sandler is the concept that we use in that 2-day appointment process. And they have franchises all over the country. And I wanted to sit down with this gentleman and really kind of figure out, am I missing something here? What more do I need to know about this whole process called Sandler sales process? And what was fascinating about our consultation we had was in the middle, after a few questions, I started to recognize that he was going through what we call a pain funnel questioning process, which is exactly what we use when we are conducting our 2-day appointment process, specifically on the first day. I sat there and I took a step back and I just started to look at this gentleman, started laughing, and he said, "What are you laughing about?" I said, "You are doing exactly, what we're supposed to do when we sit down with clients and we go through that 2-day appointment process." I couldn't believe it. I said, "Now I get it. This is so powerful," because what it did is led me right down the pathway, and I'll be signing a contract with him next week, and I'm going to go through a 10-week program to fully understand the intricacies, the details, the nuts and bolts of how this Sandler sales system works. Because I believe that we have to have a process. Not only in the two, we get people to that savings analysis, then we have to walk them through those 2 appointments. But prior to that, how can we perfect or improve our ability to really make an emotional connection with people? And that's one of the things we try to do every Tuesday, is kind of bring these little pearls and hopefully have you go out and use them immediately when you're out speaking with someone. Okay, so let's hear from other people. Thank you so much for that call. Hopefully we answered the questions for you. Let's hear from someone else. We got a few more minutes here. Let's see if we can get caller number 2 on the phone. Who wants to ask a question or who has a comment? Or better yet, I want to hear what your debt-free date is. All you have to do is just press #1 or 1 pound and you go right into the queue. So I'm waiting patiently. Here we got someone else. And we're going to the 314. Wow, we got a local listener, 314 area code, and the last 4 digits are 1789. You are on Blog Talk Radio. What's your name and where are you from?
This is Mike Forrest from St. Louis.
Mike, how are you?
And,
what part of St. Louis?
We're in Hazelwood.
Hazelwood, excellent. Who is your upline?
Margie Basaraba out in Oregon.
Out in Oregon. All right, very good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing well. Appreciate the call.
Sure. So how can we help you?
Well, I was just going to comment on a couple things I heard today. One, I really enjoy the reminding folks about how to talk to people when they're somebody comes up and says, "Look, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Here's how this has helped me." It's been a really a neat program for us. And I don't have my stuff up in front of me, so I don't know the exact date. I just know it says, 4 years from now. But that's probably something I need to keep in the back of my mind as I have that actual date stuck in there. One of the things I ran into was when I was talking to financial planners, the challenge with them is their ideology of investing now and paying off your mortgage later. It's a whole different mindset of, look, I'd rather have the peace and less stress of knowing that my bills are paid off, that my mortgage is paid off, that my credit cards and student loans are all paid off. That to me is a lot. I can wake up, easier, because every day I go through the stress, of, man, are we gonna have enough money? Are we gonna have enough money? But once we hit that debt-free day, I won't have to worry about that. Are we going to have enough money? Are we going to have enough money? Just make the days end meets whatever. So that's kind of how I look at things. Is I tell when financial planners challenge me with that, I look at them back and say, hey, I'd rather have my clients feel less stressed out about money and realize that in 4 to 7 years, they can start investing a lot more money. They can even maybe go out and create a second income with properties if that's what they want to do. Invest in other businesses with that extra, 15, 20 grand that they'll have.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Mike, and I appreciate you giving a call into us today. And listen, make sure, just on a side note, don't forget that we're going to have a fast start training event here in St. Louis, April 3rd and 4th. Okay, so
I know,
have
man.
that.
I'm excited.
Okay, good. And make sure we should be getting that information out in regards to the location probably in the next week or so. So make sure that you register and plan on having, if you have any downline agents that are here locally, make sure they attend. Plus, I'm going to keep your number and your name so we can stay in contact, because we're going to start doing some monthly trainings here in St. Louis. And we have a couple other
Awesome.
executive directors that are here in St. Louis, like Dave Weiner, very successful with FEGs out in Chesterfield. And so we can all get together and start really working this area, okay? So I appreciate you calling in, Mike. Have a great day. And I'm going to make just a few comments about what you had to say. Number one is, again, he brings up the important point. You've got to know your debt-free date, okay? Remember, the most important thing is being a product of the product. I can't emphasize that more. I mean, you just have a greater reach, a greater connection with people when you know this product in and out. Okay, many times, and I'll just be quite frank with you, many times people that buy the product and they go through corporate training and it takes about 45 to 50 minutes, some clients are just completely confused. I mean, they have no idea what is going on in regards to how to use the program. And, we have to step it up and follow up with those people and call them and say, hey, how did corporate training go? I'm here to, set up an appointment with you and go in and sit down with you and make sure everything is up and running properly. I think it's important for all of us to understand we have a duty and responsibility. Okay, it's not just about making a sale and walking away. I mean, how many of you have made a sale? How many of you have created a mailing list or an Excel spreadsheet with the name of the people that have bought the program, their email address? Are you sending out any information to them once a month? The old adage of PTC, present time consciousness. Have you kept in contact with them? I mean, it would behoove you to do that. Okay, so again, make sure that your free date. Make sure you follow up with your clients, the people that have purchased the product. Okay, that's so important. And then when dealing with, like, for example, financial advisors, I've dealt with a couple different financial advisors, ones particularly that are with huge companies, okay, huge companies. And what you'll find with those bigger companies is no matter what you say, no matter how you present the program, the likelihood of them actually utilizing the program or actually introducing it to their clients, especially with these big companies, it's just not going to happen. There's just too many regulatory issues, too many compliance issues. It's very difficult to get approval. That's the first thing that they are always talking about is, well, I don't even know if I can do this. I'm going to have to disclose to my clients that, if I'm an agent of this company, I'm going to be receiving a commission if they actually do this program or purchase the program. I mean, unless you really know your stuff, okay, going to those bigger box financial advisors, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, you're in an uphill battle. You really are, okay? And you know what? Their job is to invest people's money. And they want every single dollar of discretionary income that they can grab from their clients so that they can build a portfolio to manage. Okay, that's how they get paid. So you have to keep those things in perspective. And one of the things I would focus more on with these types of professionals is, what value added service are you providing to your clients right now? What are your successes? What are your challenges? What are you doing to stay in front of them? How are you marketing or continuing to market to your current client base? And what are you doing for your future client base? Okay, approach them more from that standpoint and just really get to learn, okay, what they're doing, what they're not doing. We had a financial advisor a week or so ago tell me, why would I want to pay off my mortgage when I could take those monies, my discretionary income, and I could invest that, okay, in dollar cost averaging scenario and really ride the market out right now because it's so hot right now. I don't want to miss out on things, okay? What we did is we came back and I said, look, this is the same analogy I use with athletes. When I was in practice, I would work with some high-powered professional athletes. And the worst you could tell an athlete when he gets injured is to stop doing what he loves to do. Look, you can't work out, you can't exercise, you can't do anything to perfect your craft for the next 8 weeks. Well, first of all, it's crickets, okay? You don't hear anything from anybody in that treatment room. It's as though there's no one there, even though you're standing right next to that athlete. And then, God forbid, it's a Friday because you won't see him on Monday when he's supposed to come in for his scheduled treatment. They just don't want to hear that. Well, it's the same thing with financial advisors, especially ones that say, look, I'd rather take that discretionary income and invest that money, dollar cost averaging, whatever it may be. So what we did is we came back and we said, look, I totally understand that you want to take advantage of the market. I said, but you could have the best of all worlds right here. Let me explain to you. And here's the little feature we have in your back office. When you do an analysis, you can do what? You can copy that analysis and create another analysis, and that's what we did. I said, look, if ideally you followed our program, these are the results. But I know it's important to you, Miss Financial Advisor, that you continue to invest some of your discretionary income in however manner you want to, but we're going to go ahead and pull aside $500 or $1,000. I asked her, I said, how much money would you like to have every month to invest while you're going through this program? And she said, I would like $700 a month that I could invest of my discretionary income. So I went back in and I reworked another analysis with the $700 as an expense, and we worked the numbers, and it still came out that she would be debt-free in less than 10 years. So look, you got to take a look at the situation, and then you have to manage that situation and offer solutions, okay? Because sometimes that sale may be dead in the water, but then you come from a different angle, and all of a sudden now that sale's back on the table. Let's go to area code 703, last four digits, 6061. You're on Blog Talk Radio. Thanks for waiting. And who am I speaking with, and where are you from?
This is Steve Guth. How are you? I'm calling. Actually, my phone is Virginia, but I'm in Florida.
Florida? What part of Florida?
Lake Worth, near Boca. Got the training in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. That's right. There's going to be training down there, I think, next week or the weekend after. I think Richard Schaefer?
With Rick Schaefer. Yeah, last weekend in February.
Good. Do you know Richard well?
Actually, I haven't met Rich. I've been working with Greg.
With Greg McCullough. Okay, yeah, his partner.
Yeah. So I've been working with Greg more than Rich at this point. But I got in a number of months ago, but I kind of was stagnant for a while, and now I'm turning it up. I've actually went out the last 2 days. I went out some cold calling in real estate offices and insurance companies. So that was an interesting experience.
Well, tell us your experiences. What happened?
Well, yesterday there was a bunch of them closed because President's Day. There's some of the small offices, but I've gone into some offices, and the broker, the owner of the agency is busy. So I took a card, and I followed up with that, and I'll tell you what I did in a second. I didn't really get to have. I had a couple of short conversations, one with a real estate broker, one with an insurance person, and it's basically kind of getting blown off a little bit because they don't know. They think you're, and I always say I'm not selling anything because they have no soliciting signs on the door. So I'm not soliciting, I'm not selling. I'm just coming in to say hello, introduce myself, just talk a little bit. I'm in financial services like you. and just kind of tell you what I'm doing here, what I've got, and what's kind of a way to help you with a prospecting tool, branding tool, way to get more referrals, and we give you a reason to go back to the existing clients, with something new. But what I really want to do is just, have your permission to send you a couple of short videos to look at, and if you like what you see, then we'll get back together and talk some more. And that's kind of what I've been saying.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
I've been last couple of days I've been sending out some videos, and I've really got to follow up, today and tomorrow with these folks.
There you go. I mean, again, go back to the very beginning, Steve, about this. It's about doing. Okay, if you're not doing, you're dying. And as Charles Carlton talked about last week, in regards to building a business, you got to learn how to recruit. And it's a matter of getting out there and talking with people and sharing with people, the product. Now, one thing, if I may add to what you're doing, you have a significant opportunity. I'm looking at this right now, if I can find it here. Let's see here. They're going to be in Boca. Let's see, on the February 28th. You have an opportunity to, and I would do this week as much as you can. I would try to get out and hit 10 different offices if you can a day. Mm-hmm. And I would make a flyer up. You can actually go to your back office and go to the upcoming live events, and you can click on the event flyer, and you can actually print that off. And I would, go in there and again, introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I have an unbelievable product here that I think you seriously need to take a look at, especially that would add value, to what you're doing right now. If they have time to chat for a few minutes, and I'd really focus on, what are they doing to generate new leads and new business? Focus on something that would be of interest to them, so that they're actually talking to you and you're not talking to them. But then, I'd casually say, hey, here's a flyer. We're having a presentation on the 28th, Friday at 7 p.m. I would love for you to come as my guest. I think that it would really open your eyes, to what our product can do for people and for your clients. And I would get out and spread the word and try to get as many people as you can to that presentation and let Max Saunders tell the dream. Let him get up there and do the legwork. Because you have an opportunity here in the next week and a half. I would talk to as many people as I possibly could and get as many people as you can to that presentation. Now, here's what's going to happen. In all reality, all likelihood, if you talk to 100 people, you may get 10 people interested, and you may get a couple people actually there, But they may be some of your biggest downline agents, They may be some of your biggest producers. You just don't know. But here's the deal. You'll never know if you don't ask. You'll never know if you don't get out there and you ask and you invite and you keep doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Awesome.
And that's why I'm doing this. So anyway, just one quick other thing. You opened up the call today talking about some objections. That would be a great. I don't think I've heard enough of that or seen videos enough on that. Rich Schaefer's new videos are fantastic, but it would be great to hear these are the common objections in a real estate office, and this is a good way to overcome them. This is a common objections for insurance people, and these are some kind of overcoming objections training, or just a suggestion would be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. And guess what? We actually have, if you go to blogtalkradio.com/UFF agents, we actually have a recording of Richard on the show, on the radio show, talking through the most common objections that we run into when we talk to just basic consumers as well as other financial professionals.
Oh, maybe
so we do have that in the recording.
Great.
Yeah, if you go on our website, blogtalkradio.com / I'll make sure I have this right because it used to be, it's / well, you can still get it with, here it is, blogtalkradio.com.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, / UFF. Just go back in the recordings and you should find Richard Schaefer It should say handling objections. Okay, but go ahead and listen to that. That should help also.
I appreciate it.
Plus, don't.
Perfect.
Another thing too, and this is a great point to bring up too, and I appreciate you calling. I'm going to go on to another call here.
Okay.
One thing to remember is don't forget to lean on your upline. Lean on your upline. What do I mean by that? I mean pick up the phone, call Greg. Okay, now Greg McCullough, his partner is Richard Schaefer. I mean, you have the best of all worlds right there, Steve. Call up Greg and say, I need to speak with Richard, or I have a question or concern about this objection, or I need 30 minutes of your time to go through objections. I'm going to drive down to your Boca office, the Beamer office, and I want to have quality time with you all to really understand objections. Okay, that's the job and responsibility of your upline. Let's go to our next call. This is area code 619, last four digits, 2469. What is your name and where are you calling from? You're on Blog Talk Radio. Objection. Okay, that's the job and responsibility of your upline. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
This is Ed Soto out in San Diego.
San Diego. How are things going out there in California?
Really good. Coming off of that last couple of weeks ago, off my first training up there in Bakersfield. So I've been trying to put some of that stuff into practice.
So what is your comment? Do you have any questions, or you want to make a comment? You're on live.
Basically, I wanted to just say that I've been having some, not where it's produced sales yet, but just kind of it's similarly with that last caller. With going after real estate agents and using the rapid funnel, using the videos, like you said, it's really just about activity. I went out cold calling, probably did about 15 to 20 offices, and I mentioned this already on another call, but got a couple of appointments to do lunch and learns. The other thing was, too, is that just sending them out to individual real estate agents, so I'll pick up their cards while I go in there, and getting permission to send them the videos. I'm seeing that people are clicking on the videos, watching them, so I got a lot of follow-up to do. But it's going to pay dividends later on. So I just wanted to mention that. I think it's exciting.
Oh, it is. And you know what? You bring up a great point about follow-up. Okay. Couple things. If you put their information in the rapid funnel system, and you note that there is activity, okay, that's going on. By the way, thank you for your call. We're going to move on. If you note there's some type of activity, or you get a new lead, okay, whether it's from your back office websites that you send out, or even with rapid funnel. I'm going to leave you with this for today. Make sure you follow up. And I mean, as soon as you see that lead or that activity come along, pick up the phone and call that person. All you're going to do is just say hello. Hey, I noticed that you requested a free ebook on our website about debt elimination. Are you interested, or do you have an issue, or are you concerned about your debt? I'm just calling to introduce myself and see if I could answer any questions for you. Nowhere in that phone call are you trying to sell them. Nowhere in that phone call are you trying to schedule a free savings analysis. It is basically saying hello. Do you have any questions or concerns that I may answer for you right now? This is just a courtesy call to introduce myself and let you know that I'm here to help. Now, most of the time they're going to ask a few questions, and then you can go and use that pain funnel to guide them down to a point where you can then possibly ask them, you know what, I think I have a good recommendation for you. Would you like to know what that is? So you're getting their permission, and then you're moving right into, I think a free savings analysis would really help us better understand how this product could help you. And really, nail down your debt-free date. Is that something you'd like to do? Or, just leave the phone call as is. Hey, I'm just calling just to introduce myself, and I noticed that you requested my ebook. Hey, look, I hope you enjoy the ebook, and, If you have any questions or concerns, please, this is my phone number. Make sure you write my name down, and I'm here to help you. That will pay huge dividends. Now, you're going to follow up with them, right? You know that you're going to step up and probably send them or drip them some more information. But the point is that you are on the move. You're doing, you're creating, you're getting out there, and you're making things happen. And on that note, we have reached the top of the hour, and it is time to roll on, everyone. So listen, thank you so much for listening in today. I really appreciate people coming online and asking questions and giving their comments. Always know that we're here to help you, and I look forward to hearing from you next Tuesday. Have a great week, and if I don't hear from you next week, have a wonderful month, and make sure that you go out and change people's lives. Take care, everyone.
Today's show was brought to you by a group of independent worth agents. We hope you'll join us again really soon. In the meantime, go out and change someone's life. Tell them about the Worth account. Thank you for listening.